Hey guys, well, we're in the same clothes as last week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm filming this right after the thank you vlog. And today, I'm going to review one of my favorite movies of all time, and possibly one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. Alright, let's get started. This is my review of Tropic Thunder. The story is pretty funny. Okay, so famous actors filming a movie that's based on a book that you find out, spoiler alert, like that matters, it's all made up. It's all made up by the Nick Nolte character. And all this shit happens, and they're behind schedule when it comes to filming. And so as a way to whip them into shape, the director takes them out to the jungle, basically takes them off the grid and tells them, if you learn to work together, if you learn to not get on each other's nerves, if you learn to, follow the script and become a unit, we will chopper you home. And then the director dies. He steps on a landmine, literally. On the jungle, it's on like Donkey Kong. Then the actors are left to their own devices, well, amongst each other, and it doesn't really go well. And so they go through the jungle, they argue over the map, and Tug Speedman, played by Ben Stiller, gets kidnapped by drug lords, and hilarity ensues. He thinks it's part of the filming process. It is not. And I think that's what makes it all the more funny. And he's held for ransom. And they make him act out a movie from his filmography that is very, very well known for being terrible. That's for the movie, The Cable Guy. And then the other actors sneak into the compound and rescue him. And they look like they're having a lot of fun. I am Iron Man. And so after they free him, he gets finished, and it wins all these awards, and he saves his career. And pretty much, I think the main reason most of the focus is on this one character, Tug Speedman, is because the guy that directed this movie is the actor playing him, Ben Stiller. And man, Ben Stiller is a very funny man. And I'm just so glad I saw this movie, because I could not stop laughing when I saw it for the first time. Tug Speedman, obviously, like I said, he's the main focus. And the way they're shooting the movie in the beginning...
Of those four, 3 wrote books about what happened. Of those 3, 2 were published. Of those 2, just 1 got a movie deal.
Honestly, if all movie intros started like that with Nick Nolte's narration without seeing his face, I would want him to do it more. And honestly, the most ridiculous thing about the intro is, I know they're making a movie, and I know this movie is satire, but just this one part of the intro is so ridiculous, because there is no way Four Leaf was able to get shot that many times and survive. I mean, come on. And obviously, Tug wants to get his career back on track. He really looks forward to finishing Tropic Thunder because he hopes to win an Oscar. And obviously, when he gets captured, he gets so caught up in the acting and his acting that he doesn't realize he's being captured. In fact, obviously, even when the director dies in front of him, he doesn't fully put it together anyway, so he butts heads with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Kirk Lazarus.
Why do you still care? Man, I don't care until I've done the DVD commentary.
And yes, I do have the song Iron Man by Black Sabbath playing in the background. Which, alright, apart from Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr. is probably the funniest guy in this movie because, like, his character is such a method actor. It honestly, he actually got a lot of hate for this movie because he's wearing blackface. Like I said before, it's a satire, it's a comedy, okay? It's rated R for a reason. The reason why comedy is meant to have shock value is because of what George Carlin stood for. Comedy is not funny unless someone's being offended. And Robert Downey Jr. is doing this role to bring light to a serious topic called blackface, which is not okay when you're not black. And just like, you know, obviously it's commentary. He's making fun of it. He's making fun of being a method actor. It's all part of his shtick. And he's just, he's so funny that you can't, even though a lot of the scenes from this movie haven't aged well, I don't give a shit. It's funny. I mean, seriously, go back and watch the first Hangover movie and tell me you don't laugh your ass off, even at the parts that haven't aged well. Jeff Portnoy, played by Jack Black, he's the second funniest man in this movie.
Show me where the drugs are. Don't judge me.
I'm trying to forget Nacho Libre. And he has a massive drug problem, and everyone is just like standing around him like, what's going on? He's going through withdrawal. That's what he's going through. When he's like on the ground, that's withdrawal. I mean, you gotta give it to Jack Black for showing a very accurate portrayal of withdrawal. Because, like, I mean, he gives it his all, and he is funny while doing it. Sort of going back to Tug Speedman, I love how he says in the beginning, they make a big deal about how he can't really cry.
Kirk, I'm ready to do the scene. What scene? The scene was about emotionality.
Who was your acting coach? Amber Heard? Honestly, I don't think most actors know how to cry on cue unless they're like Brando's level of talent. And there's a rapper actor in this movie called Al Pacino. Do I even need to make a joke about his name? But he's secretly gay, and the funny thing is, when they ask him what's the name of his crush, and he says Lance, he plays it off like saying, oh no, it's a girl, her name is Nance, her name is Nance. And then at the very end, he's seen with Lance Bass from NSYNC. That's hilarious. Alright, the only thing I didn't like was Four Leaf, like the guy played by Nick Nolte, lied. He says he wrote the book as a tribute because he's a patriot, and he did serve in the military as a National Guard in the sanitation department. Honestly, had he just said, oh yeah, I was just in the sanitation department of the National Guard, but I wrote this book as a tribute because I'm a patriot and I love my country. If he had been transparent and said that, hey, this is just a book I wrote, this is what I actually did, I am part of the military, I did do service for this country because I love it so much, I would respect him. But no, he has to be all dramatic about it and pretend he lost his hand. Oh my god, you're Nick Nolte. Gross. It's just like, you do realize there are actual members of the military that have lost limbs. And I know y'all are probably thinking like, wow, you are really triggered by this. My Uncle Ross that passed away this year, he served in the military for 20 years. He was a veteran, and he was very well decorated, and he had PTSD the rest of his life. So yeah, I'm kind of triggered. My final thoughts are, this movie's hilarious, and Ben Stiller, you did a great job. Tom Cruise, you brought it at the very end. I laughed my ass off. Every time you curse somebody out, every time you turn on a song and dance like a moron. Man, everyone in this movie gave it their all. And I really love this movie. I'm glad I got to review it, and watching it again, it just reminded me of how much I love it. Alright, it's getting late. Until next time, stay positive and stay awesome, everyone. See ya.